On September 3rd, 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, officially ending the American Revolution. 13 colonies had won their independence from England. A new country was born. The new country was called the United States of America, but it was not united. Each state had its own leaders and its governments. The states were like 13 separate colonies.
Right, and hand Andrew the script.
Separated under a document called the Articles of the Confederation. This political system gave the national government very little power. Each state took care of its own business, but without a strong national government, the state had a problem.
When I go to Rhode Island, they won't take my money.
Of course not. Your money is worthless here.
Then how can we do business with each other? Don't we need a treaty to trade? We can negotiate for all of us.
How can we decide once and for all who owns what? New Hampshire is trying to claim land that belongs to me.
Not true, that land belongs to me!
No, to me!
Maybe it's time we sat down to talk about things.
In September 1786, delegates from Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, New Jersey, and New York gathered in Naples, Maryland. They discussed the problem among the states and identified what had to be done.
The Articles of Confederation make the nation's government helpless and hopeless. We need a government that works! But we only have 5 states represented here. What can we do? We can call another convention. We can ask everyone to come and help revise the Articles of Confederation.
That's an excellent idea. Let's meet in Philadelphia in the same hall where the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Deal!
The convention began on May 25th, 1787. 12 states sent delegates.
But not me. I don't want anything to do with this suspicious nonsense.
Virginia had an idea. An idea so different it would replace the Article of Confederation rather than revise them.
I am proud to propose the Virginia Plan. It's a government with 3 branches: executive, legislative, and judicial.
I see the plan calls for 2-house legislature. Is that a good idea?
Sir, the number of delegates will be based on population. What's wrong with that?
If you have more delegates, you'll have more votes than I do.
But you're not even half my size. Why should you have the same number of votes?
Without equal representation, my vote will be ignored.
The big states and the small states agreed for weeks. Delegates became discouraged.
If we can't agree on anything, how can we stay one country?
But we could have been even bigger problems if we break apart.
Would the United States of America survive?
Probably not.
Fortunately, the Connecticut delegate came to a rescue.
I have an idea. The House of Representatives can be based on population. The Senate can have 2 delegates for every state.
So every state, no matter how small, will have 2 votes in the Senate.
But states with more people will have more delegates in the House of Representatives.
I can live with that.
I can too. Can you?
A major hurdle had been overcome. The delegates now had a framework for a new constitution, but there were still many other decisions to be made.
How long should a president's term in office be?
What can Congress be in charge of?
What about power? Who will have the most? The President, Congress, or the Supreme Court? What if the Congress passes bad laws? How will we stop them?
Hold on. If someone has too much power, we're right back where we started, fighting tyranny.
The powers among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches were carefully separated and balanced in a new constitution.
I won't sign this document if you take away all my power.
What about my state? Calm down. The Constitution still allows us to make laws to meet the local needs of our people.
But the Constitution will be the supreme law of the land, and we won't be allowed to pass a law that conflicts with it.
Wait.
The delegates worried about many details of the government. In the end, they realized that the document could be made perfect for all generations.
We need a way to make amendments to the Constitution to take care of problems that don't exist yet.
True, but if we all have to agree on each change, we should be in for big trouble.
Because it would be nearly impossible to get unanimous approval for all changes, the Constitution says amendments became law ratified by 3/4 of the states. On September 17th, 1787, the United States Constitution was signed before representatives of 12 states. The ratification process was lengthy, but eventually all 13 states approved the Constitution. A new government was born.
The United States of America!